recording will start soon. I love that, like, it gives you all these warnings, like, make sure that you're ready to do this. And I'm like, no, no one is ready. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. So hello, lovely people. This is my podcast. It's Jackie. It was originally Jackie is Accidentally in Charge. And then I somehow like finagled Irvin into being part of it with me. So now it's Jackie and Irvin are accidentally in charge. And yet again, like he got snagged by a work meeting and like got stolen. Yep. So, you know. Yep. But I think again, when it's my friends that I'm interviewing, I'm always like, you know, it's probably for the best because we have history. So, but yeah. Okay, Jeannie, the first thing you have to do is teach me how to say your name because I have no idea.
Thank you for asking that. It's Ginny.
Oh, so I've been saying it wrong for like 15 years.
Everybody has. Ginny. Everybody does it. Yeah. I hired somebody and he was like, wait a minute, I've been saying your name wrong for 15 years. And I'm like, yeah, everybody does.
We have a company we work with at my workplace and I always thought it was Reuser because it's spelled that way.
Yeah.
It's Reuser. It's a German name.
Yeah, that
I didn't catch it till like the rep came and he was like, blah, 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 Reuser, blah, blah. I'm like, what is he talking about?
And you're like, what's Reuser?
Yeah. And, you know, it's that moment where you're like, oh God, I've been doing it completely wrong. Yeah. So Ginny, first of all, I was expecting like to, you know, mangle your last name, not your first. So Ginny. There you go. Dietrich. Okay. Yeah, and like I actually can't remember how we met. I know it was on Twitter.
It had to have been on Twitter, right?
Right, and that's it. Like, but I was thinking back over our connection, and I was realizing, like, I think I got to know you best during the pandemic because that's when you were all of us. Well, you were doing like a daily post, and that was a time where like I was home and socially isolated. You know, my husband at the time was working in medicine. He was, you know,
I didn't realize that.
EVS director at a hospital. So he was one of the people that had to like come home and strip off all his clothes and shower and like the whole thing. So it was, you know, and I would just read your things that you sent every day. And it was like wake up, have coffee, read what Jeannie put up today, or Ginny, I guess I should say, since now I know. But yeah, like, and I think, you know, I learned some disturbing things about you, like that you absolutely cannot go to sleep without cleaning your entire kitchen, which is just wrong. I don't understand how you can do that.
I still laugh about that because that one like created so much animosity. And I was like, I don't give a shit if you don't clean your kitchen. I just have to clean mine. Like, it's just wrong.
I find it, I don't know, I find it a surprising fact about you somehow. Like,
I'm super OCD.
Yeah, because you come across as very playful and goofy and like, you know.
You don't live with me.
Well, yeah. Well, I got a glimpse of what that would be like when you were talking about it every day.
I love that 5 years later, that's what you remember. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I remember that, and I remember that once upon a time, like my Twitter bio, I was trying really hard to like break into social media marketing. This is like, you know, around when you first met me, probably like 2010. And my Twitter bio was something like future CEO, like smart, serious, whatever. And like one day you just messaged me, you're like, so about this serious thing.
Are you trying to be someone you're not?
I was like, oh, I feel so called out right now because, you know, like one of the other things we have in common is some weird obsession with squirrels. I don't know, my new fake company is called Squirrel. So, you know, it's a company that Harmony and my daughter started because we were like trying to come up with the name for this imaginary company, and then we were arguing for weeks over who would be the CEO, me or her,
of the imaginary company.
Like I kept like making her the CEO and then firing her, and then we started hiring other people. So now like her boyfriend is like the HR director, and like my son is like the IT person. I don't know. We just started like assigning roles to people. This company doesn't exist, you know. And then
I have a role. You know, I'd like a role. Can I be chief marketing officer, please?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
That would be incredible. Yeah. So now it actually has like a, you know, an Instagram and a webpage and stuff. And like, this is always how I do things. It's backwards, right? It's all like made up and then it becomes like a real thing. Wow, I just hired a chief marketing officer. I'm so happy.
I'm gonna put it on my LinkedIn profile.
So for the people that supposedly are listening to this and can follow my insane thread, I should have you introduce yourself. And I did sort of bring my props. So I have.
Oh, you have props.
Yeah,
Oh, well, look at that. You do have props.
a bunch
Wow.
of- and I have to admit, Ginny, I keep wanting to call you Jeannie.
I know.
I have had this book and I maybe read it when I first got it, but I was just poking around in here and like laughing my butt off because I mean, you talk about Elon Musk at one point.
I
And
know.
I'm like, when was this published? You know, this is
A long
2014.
time. Yeah.
You were
I'm not an Elon Musk
seeing
fan anymore.
some things
Yeah.
like
Mm.
yeah, there he is, like right in the middle, you
Uh-huh.
know. But also like your beginning here is so fabulous. Oh my God.
Oh no.
You know where I'm going with this, right?
I actually
Like,
don't. I don't remember.
You don't? You
No.
don't remember your own?
Mm-mm.
That makes me feel so much better. All right. Well, here's the
Oh yeah, sex sells. Yeah.
yeah. And so just to play with that, I sent someone an email titled just sex, and that email gets opened right away. It's like just the header is just, it just says sex, and like I was like, oh, that works. You're right.
It works. Yeah.
That gets attention real quick, you know. So yeah, there's some,
I'm actually doing
I've enjoyed that.
I'm writing another book. Maybe I should do a throwback and include that as a title for one of the chapters. I should think about that.
Well, I love that it's chapter 1 of this one. Like
I'll do it as the prologue.
You know. And then the other prop I brought along is what I have yet to send you,
Which is amazing.
Beautiful
Amazing.
portrait of you. Look, it's like a glamour shot.
That's like, yeah.
But yeah, what's really crazy is you actually look exactly like this. So that's for all that I've known you, like I've known you online for like continuously for like however many years, 15, something like that. And I think this is the first time we've face to face. Yeah,
it is.
So
crazy.
So I've been looking forward to this. I wanted you to be the first one, but now you're the fourth.
Wow,
but okay. You know, and my others are all way more like normal. So you have the joy of getting unfiltered Jackie, I guess. So
okay, well, you can have unfiltered Ginny then.
All right, I look forward to that.
Do you want to see what I have?
Yes, please show me props.
I have a prop.
Let's show and tell. Oh, it's just, oh my goodness.
See, I'm a terrorist. I'm not very nice, but I sure am cute.
Oh, I have one of those, only it's of a feline persuasion. Yeah. You've probably seen it.
She's
a
tired.
lot of those.
All right, I'll put you back.
Wait, so is this the baby?
That's the baby.
The baby, yeah, because you have Olivia Benson.
Yeah, Olivia Benson is the perfect dog. She is perfect. This one is not.
Well, I mean, I don't think you can judge them till they grow up because
okay, fair.
Yeah, they tend to be terrorists when they're children, you know, like I don't know. Maybe a lot of us are like, I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
It's a thing.
We're grown-ups and
were you a good, well-behaved child?
I was a very well-behaved child, actually.
Yeah, so was I, disappointingly. Missed opportunities. I don't think I was easy to parent though. Like no. now that I've experienced what it's like to be on that side of the fence, I'm like, okay, I have more sympathy for my own.
Yeah, I think you do. Yeah, after you, sure. Yeah.
So that's another piece of your journey. I was just flipping back through Facebook and looking at your posts, and you posted the one with the baby bottle and the wine glass, and you actually had to keep yours a secret for like 4 years.
4 years. Yeah, we were foster parents, and she came to us when she was 8 months old. The foster system, we can have a whole episode on this, but the foster system is very, in my opinion, broken. And there was a lot of work we had to do because the foster system is set up so that the biological family gets the children back. So they do everything they can to give biological families every chance. And it doesn't matter if they're in prison or if they're drug addicts or whatever, that is the goal, is to reunite with the biological parents. And so we had all of this turmoil with this 8-month-old baby who then became a 4-year-old, over the years, who was with us all that time.
From our perspective, yeah, because you were like keeping it.
And it was like she was with us the whole time, but we were going through the whole process of, does she go back to the biological parents? Does she not? And, you go through that process, and you're in court all the time. And I remember I had to fill out a form every single week and send it to the attorney's office, and so when we were able to finally adopt her, she was almost 5. It was November, and she would have been 5 in April. So it was a long.
My birthday is in April, so
see,
yeah.
Best people are born in April. My husband's birthday is too.
Oh, well,
yeah. So it was a long process, but she is ours, and she is my mini me for sure. And it's funny to see like nature versus nurture. I forget she's adopted. I'm like, wait, did we adopt you? Because you're kind of mean.
Seems like I know we have to like be a little guarded about our children and sharing online and all of that. I've always tried to find that line with mine, but she seems like quite a character. So
she's a character.
I look forward to seeing her, continue to grow up. Yeah.
She's definitely in the teenager stage.
So yeah. I laugh because I have 2 teenagers. Yeah. I mean, they're fabulous, but like I had to sort of go through a mourning process recently of like realizing like my children are gone, like, and then they're back. Like
terrible.
Like it's gonna last for all of eternity. And
terrible.
But I mean, they're amazing people, and I'm excited to see them become, fully human, so to speak.
Right.
But I miss the babies sometimes.
Yeah.
But so were you looking for a child, or how did that come about? Like, were you?
Yeah, we were foster parents.
Okay, so you were.
Yeah. So we were definitely looking to build our family that way. But that particular process was so tough that at the end of it, I was like, I'm never doing this again. And we didn't renew our license. And, like during the pandemic and a couple of other times, I've kind of been like, oh, I wish we had renewed our license and like at least kept it up. But
it's a lot of work. Yeah. From what I hear.
And it's not, like I said, I mean, it's a really broken system.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting though. Like, just because, I mean, you do a lot of things I would consider difficult, some of our conversations over the years I was looking have been about being a woman in this whole ecosphere, and like, in your position, you're actually a CEO, like unlike me, not a pretend one, but a real one, and like, I'm only a CEO when I argue harmony into letting me be in charge for the day. But no, but you do it for real, and you've done it for quite a while, and also, just balancing that family life with the work. And that's kind of been a running theme of some of these interviews so far, and some of the people that I've talked to already, like Brian Kramer.
Sure.
I expect you've met him before. And then I don't know, do you know AJ Jacobs?
I don't.
Okay, so he's a journalist, and he wrote The Year of Living Biblically. And the second person, but he also has children, and his children happen to be somewhat close to the age of mine. So like a similar sort of like balancing your professional world with your and your in your sort of like public persona with your family life, right? And and then Tom and John are sort of in a different category. They're doing a generosity project, but different area. But the thread that kind of runs through all of these so far has something to do with that. Like, in the first interview I did with Brian, I was talking about how do we balance, like, become whole people and not just like go chasing after these professional wins or, chasing after success in some conventional sense, but like more of a like integrated whole where we're like actually thriving. And I think that's part of what I'm drawing out of people with, these interviews. But also I just love to show off, like, look at all these cool people I know, and they're so neat. Look at all the neat stuff they do. So Yeah, but so are you? I notice you're still kind of
Oh
focused
yeah,
on
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
spin sucks. As so you've stayed with this model, and then now you have like um, more like a Venn diagram. I'm a fan of Venn diagrams, right? And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love the like
It's
handwritten
terrible.
one that you
It's
posted with
terrible.
the Sharpie. So tell me about this because I actually don't know this model that you're using, right? Like the
Yeah,
paid,
it's the
earned,
peso
owned,
model, and I
shared.
actually launched it in Spin Sucks the book in 2014. And it's in the
Oh, so
book, but
it's in the
you'll
book that
see
I didn't
that,
finish
like,
reading.
I mean, you will see the very first graphic in there and how remedial it is. It's not sophisticated at all. So throughout the years we've evolved it and made it a lot more sophisticated. It's now focused more strategically, and because of that, we've been working with Fortune 100 brands to help them implement it internally, because there's a science behind the system and a really specific way that you use it. And what we were finding is that people were like, oh, well, I do some social media ads and I do some blogging, and of course we're on social media, and we got some placements in some trade publications, so we're doing paid. And we're like, no, that's not, those are tactics of paid, earned, shared, and owned media, but that's not the system. So and we've done another big refresh and evolution this year, of course, with AI and discoverability. So it's really fun
Yeah.
because it keeps me curious and engaged. If I were just running a company and having to deal with HR issues all day, every day, I would not be enjoying myself. But because I have this and I'm able to evolve it, I'm having a lot of fun.
That's interesting, that word curiosity, because that comes up a lot too. I don't know, certain running themes, gratitude, curiosity, and then of course that AI piece keeps coming back.
I'm
Like,
sure, yeah.
we had this hilarious one where Brian uses like an AI assistant to schedule his interviews, and I thought it was a person and was interacting with it, like talking to it.
I love it.
It was totally mortified to find out, but it's just changing so fast.
Yeah.
The someone was posting, I'm on Substack and playing around over there, and someone was posting that their wife is an editor and works with like coaches, people that are writing books, and her last like 15 submissions were all like very clearly AI generated work. Like people are using it heavily to like try to accelerate their book writing process or whatever. And she finally had to just like make a no AI rule for like, I
Wow.
won't consult with you if you're using AI, because they're all coming out kind of like cookie cutter, the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
And one thing we do have in common, and I'm curious about, and there's that curiosity again, but I started looking at people's college majors just out of, sometimes I'm like researching people's backgrounds for
Sure.
these interviews,
Sure.
and I got really fascinated by like what colleges people went to and what they studied. And you studied English, and
I
I'm
did.
an English major, so like I was
Yep.
like, yeah, Janet
Yep.
is an English major. So where what kind of English did you study back in the day?
It was all literature, English lit, and of course I had a creative writing bent, so there was a lot of writing, which I'm sure doesn't surprise you. But I also
No.
have a statistics minor, so I got the left and the right brain, which to this day people
You
are like,
lucky.
"What?" Yeah,
No, I can't do math at all. Like it's zero.
isn't
So
that funny? Yeah,
yeah.
my team gets really frustrated with me because of course, everybody on my team, because of what we do, are all super creative, right-brained humans. And then we'll start to talk about measurement, and they just all look at me like, I'm sorry, is that English?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, measurement feels different to me than most math. Like I can wrap my
I
mind
feel
around
like it was should, yeah, I feel like that's true.
that part of it where
Yeah.
it's like, let's actually track metrics and see what's effective. I can understand that more than like the kind of arithmetic or formulas.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, but that's interesting that you would do statistics and English lit. Like I rarely find those two things together.
No, and of course, yeah, because it's both sides of your brain, which most people don't do. Yes. It's very strange.
Yeah, and yeah, the writing part definitely doesn't
Right. Yeah.
surprise me. So hopefully not using AI to do it though.
No, I mean, I use AI for sure. Like,
Do you? All right.
yeah,
What do
oh,
you use it
absolutely.
for? Like,
I will use it to outline content. Like I said, I'm writing another book. So what I do is I'll throw a chapter in and I'll ask it to analyze it for me. And I've created an agent specific to that. So it knows exactly what I'm looking for. So it can analyze like tone and voice and make sure there's continuity and that the transitions work and transitions from chapter to chapter. So I'm using AI sort of like you would your book publisher editor.
sure,
And
yeah.
you also when you publish a book, you usually have 2 or 3 industry experts who will also provide feedback. So I'm using it for that perspective in the hopes of cutting down that process later on, to make sure,
That's
because
interesting because I've never published a work, and I'm leaning in that direction now. I'm working on some projects, and I've just had great difficulty finishing. But to hear what the process usually is or was, and then that you can use these tools to, like, in the right way versus what I was describing, where they're getting this like boilerplate effect, right? Yeah, and especially I was once upon a time a writing teacher, but this is like before the advent of AI and all this stuff. And I'm looking at going back to the classroom, and I know that the students are using this nonstop. Like my son is early college, and I see what he does like with his homework, and I see what my 17-year-old is doing with her stuff in school, and I can see that it's just
it's
the way
crazy.
the world is going. So, yeah.
And do you find that they, like with mine, I find that they're using it in such interesting ways. And I'm kind of like, like my 12-year-old has conversations with it like it's a human. And we have to keep saying to her, this isn't a human, right? That there's not a human being behind there like typing. So we have to keep having that conversation with her. But she said to it the other day, she was like, it's been the first week of school and I'm really frustrated. I'm really bad at math, which isn't true, but she's got herself in her headspace that she's bad at it. Could you help me? And it said, well, what are you working on? And she said, we just started on some new algebra stuff. And so it had her upload her homework, and then it gave her tips. And she did say, she said, I told it that I'm dyslexic so that it understands how I learn. And it was giving her tips on how her brain works to do it. And I was like, what? Holy smokes.
That's amazing.
And it made sense to her.
I mean, I wonder, so I don't have dyslexia. I have the other one, which is called dyscalculia, which has to do with the numbers, and I can't read an analog clock, there's certain, like the example I always give is like when I go to get a soda cup, I can't tell which lid fits on the cup unless I turn the cup like this, because I don't have the spatial ability to like rotate a shape in my mind, like there's certain things. And my daughter actually joked that maybe like the word part of my brain took over my math functions, because like I'm so like hyperlexic that and there might be an element of truth to that. But anyway, like, if those tools had existed when I was struggling with math in school, that might have been a different journey, right? Like, and it's interesting. I wonder if there's any awareness on the part of the people like programming things that people with, actual disabilities are going to be using these tools to supplement. I don't know.
I would imagine so. And there's another, like, she read a statistic somewhere, I don't remember where she saw it, but she's read a statistic that said that when you're in class and you're taking notes, especially if you have a learning disability or ADHD, that you're not actually paying attention because you're taking notes. And so you're focused on note taking and not on learning. And she actually went to her advisor and said, I'm finding, I saw this statistic and I'm finding that that's for me. Is there something that we can do? And they're letting her use the same note-taking app that they use in college, which is called Coco Notes, I think, where it will record the teacher so she can pay attention during class. And then it summarizes the conversation in bullet points. And then she can go through and note take on that instead of note taking during class. Like, we didn't have this stuff, right?
No. So, my first business was called Front Row Antics. And the reason it was called Front Row Antics is because I always had to sit in the front row
Yep.
because I couldn't take notes.
Yep.
Because if that exact effect,
right,
I couldn't,
right.
if I was writing, I wasn't listening. I
Yep.
couldn't take in the information. So I learned to just sit in the front row with the front row students tend to be the note takers. And then
Yep.
I'd be like, hey, can I get a copy of that? And people, that's how I got through. I didn't have like a note taking app. I had the people that sat in the front row
Sure.
with
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
because they were
Well,
all
you probably
like,
had to pay. Yeah.
right. Well,
Yeah.
no, I just, it was, me and hi, I'm really friendly. Give me your notes. And people did. It's amazing how that works. Yeah. And so the same effects, like it works in the rest of my life. I don't know. I just kind of do things and
I love it.
I get by. But no, that it's amazing that your kid is like not only self-aware, but also goes and looks at the research on it. Like I didn't do
Right?
that till after college, and
Right.
it was a bit
I was
late.
like, I'm sorry, you what?
Mhm.
Yeah.
They are a lot more self-aware. But you know what you were talking about where maybe she's not always remembering that it's not a person, like when you're interacting. And same with my kids, like they're a little older of that, I guess Gen Z's. I don't know what
Mhm.
generation your kid is, but they don't have like the historical trail. Like for example,
Yeah.
the phone symbol on our iPhones is shaped like the old phone, but they never grew up using the
Right.
old phone. So that
Right.
phone symbol doesn't
Yep.
mean anything concrete to them. Or
Yep.
they didn't grow up like double clicking on folders on a
Yep.
computer. They grew up with touchscreens. So they don't understand like the infrastructure underneath, the layers underneath when they're doing things on the computer. It's like they're coming into the technology at a point and they don't have like the historical
Yeah, that's a really good
stuff.
point. Yep.
So
Yeah. It's funny
yeah.
because I'm sure you've seen the videos where they ask different generations, if I say pick up the phone, what do you do? And one goes like this, one goes like this, right?
When my son was a toddler, he toddled up to our TV and was like
Yeah,
trying
I'm
to,
sure that all the kids have done that. When Addie was little, she
Yeah.
would do it with magazines. She'd be like, "Why isn't this working?" And I'm like, "It's a
Right?
magazine."
Yeah, you have to like, what is it, Wally, where he like picks
Yeah.
up- oh, look at that,
So funny.
Yeah, the assumption that you just know how it works, right? I don't know. I feel like we're kind of all over the place, but no, it's and that's good. I mean, like I don't know. I just I'm so happy to see you. Like it's ridiculous. These weird online like parasocial sometimes relationships too, where like
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like these people, and I know them really well, but then they're like I barely know you. And sometimes it's more like us where we have this like ongoing connection, but not, we haven't spent time in person. We don't have
Right.
like
Right.
that depth of knowledge. And then I get into these conversations and I'm just like, there's so much time and history behind all of this,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But I don't know, like to find ourselves here and still doing it. So like, I don't know where to go from there. Your company does what? Like, because I used to describe it as marketing, but it seems like it's a little different.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely started as a very traditional PR firm, which is my experience. So we did crisis, we did reputation management, we did media relations. It was very, very,
See,
very
that's different from my understanding of it even then. I
well,
think.
and then it evolved. So probably by the time we met, we were doing more like social content, SEM, of course, media relations. So we had kind of incorporated all of that. So it became, I was still calling it digital communications, but the rest of the world would call it marketing. It has taken me a while to admit that we're doing more than communications, just because that's the lens that I look at through everything. And it's my experience, right? But on my team, I think there are probably, let me think about this, only 2 other communicators, and everybody else is a marketer or an educator, a trainer.
Well, how would
like
you differentiate communications from marketing? So communications is more like the PR piece, or?
Yeah, I mean, most people will say communications, really social media and media relations.
Okay.
I don't think that that's accurate. I think communicators do more than that, but that's how most people bucket it. And then marketing is more content and paid social and Google ads and, you know, brand and all of that. So I'm seeing
Marketing's
much
more like sales funnel, I guess, right? Like,
and
yeah.
brand. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, brand, like,
And
yeah.
comms is more reputation awareness.
That's interesting. Like, yeah, you know, for all that I've been following all of you marketing and people for years and going to conferences and learning, it doesn't quite take. Like, I don't think I ever really grasped how to do it or what it is, you know. And I just think it's interesting that it's like I came onto Twitter and just pinged around having fun, you
Right.
know.
But we all did. It was fun
Like
back then. Yeah.
yeah, like a big never-ending entertainment loop,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But whenever I tried to make it something that was a work thing, it didn't quite land. I don't know. And then I talk to, you know, people like you, and it's like, oh, like you do this for your job, and I forget that when I'm interacting on an interpersonal level, it's just
Yeah.
fun,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
It definitely has changed. I mean, back then it was, you're right, it was like one big happy place. And I remember like it was probably 2011-ish, maybe
Yeah.
2010, 2011, that there was like every Friday there was a DJ who would have a playlist and then you would have these conversations and it was like happy hour. And it was just such a
Yeah.
fun place to be. But for
Mhm.
me, it was such a catalyst in introducing me to people all around the globe. And
That too.
it afforded me 2 books. It afforded me, you know, speaking opportunities. I traveled the globe to, you
Mhm.
know, it's like it was, and it's just not like that anymore. And I know that people you know are using Instagram and TikTok and things like that to make money, but it's not the same. It's not the same community
Yeah.
or the relationship
Mhm.
building that we had back then, which is kind of a bummer because it was super fun.
It is. It is. And I mean, and you know, I don't want to get caught up in the like it was the good old days, and like, you know, I'm sure that like the people that are experiencing it now are having their own version of that. Because I just had this conversation with Tom and John because we're talking about you know, the nonprofit sector and how that changed and the kind of projects that they're trying to do. And there, you know, there is this idea that like somehow it changed for the worse and like bad players got in or something. But you know, because like I got on the internet really young and my father was a computer programmer. I had a computer from the age of 2, so I sort of like, you know, grew up playing in these sandboxes and all from the very beginning of early internet. And like things move around, but the people stay the same, right? So
Right. Right.
it's just that we're in this transition point where like, you know, Twitter sandbox kind of like exploded, and
Yeah.
nobody knows where the next one's going to be, right? And we're all kind of like, okay, is this the next Twitter? How about this?
Yeah,
Is this the
like we
next
go to
Twitter?
Threads
You
and then
know?
we go to Blue Sky and we're like, no, it's
Uh-huh.
not quite the same. It's just
Yeah.
nobody's been able to replicate that, I don't think.
That was a unique experience,
It
and
was.
it's what connected us, but also like it's a direct line from that to this podcast, you know, because like the people that I started out with and then they led me to the next thing and the next thing, you know,
Sure.
like from Twitter to World Domination Summit to Misfit Con to like, you know, all of these adventures in the South by Southwest, and eventually to people like Liz Strauss and, you know, Mark Horvath, who does Invisible People,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
And so like if I hadn't like pinged around in those like Twitter spaces, I wouldn't have connected with
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
that, you know. And now I feel like there's another chapter that's about to unfold, and we're all kind of like, where is it? Like, I mean, AI is part
Where
of
is
it,
it?
right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, AI definitely feels like the early days of social for sure.
yeah. But I'm
Not in
having
the
fun
same
on
way, but
Substack. Whatever's happening there feels a lot like what
oh,
happened in
cool. Okay.
Twitter. You know, I'm telling my social media people like, hey, like look at this one, you know. It's like I'm just trying on the different hats and seeing which
I
one
love it. Yeah.
kind of takes. But my kid is trying like anything to get me on TikTok, and I'm like, it makes me feel so old. I'm like, I don't get this.
I
how do I
love. I should
do
not
you?
love TikTok. I
Oh
know I
God.
should not. But I love it.
Oh well, now I have to like go on there and
I
volunteer.
don't post
Do you
anything because
post?
no, I don't
No.
because I feel I'm the same way. Like I feel like I'm too old and I'm just not that kind of creative, and I just don't have the time to like stitch videos together and things like that. But
Yeah,
man,
videos are
I
a little
love
more
it.
intense.
I
Yeah.
love it. It's
So
so entertaining. It's
what do
so
you use
entertaining.
it for? You just kind of like
I
goof
just
off
lurk.
on
Yeah.
there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm going to be doing just to, get a feel for it and
Yeah.
see but that's what I mean. Like, I told John in the last interview, it's the spaghetti at the wall metaphor. You're just like throwing it and seeing what sticks, right? And
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I just get out there and I'm everywhere. Like I'm everywhere on the internet and always have been. Like I laugh because I pulled up the Wayback Machine and I think I was like 16, maybe 17, and I still had the jackiness at Hotmail
Oh,
email
you did?
address. And it's like forever archived on the Wayback Machine. It's like my name, my full
That's
name, my
awesome.
email. And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
oh wow. Like I
Wow.
was so fearless. Like I didn't worry about like my private information being out in the world,
I think anybody did. Yeah.
So
Yeah. It
it's
wasn't
just
bad back then.
but that's where I'm like, was it though? Like because
Maybe. And maybe we were naive.
like I think we were just like a little naive about it.
Yeah.
I think because I do remember, you know, I met my first boyfriend on Yahoo Personals when I was
Love. Amazing.
super nerd. First of all, like how many people even know that Yahoo ever had personals? Like that was like a very brief moment in time. And second, like, oh my God, I was like out there, like putting my real email address on like Yahoo Personals and like having people, and it was like older Silicon Valley, like mostly autistic men, playing around on that in the day. And I'm like, that was actually dangerous. Like if my teenage daughter was doing what I did when I was a teenager, like I would hit the ceiling. And my parents were like,
right.
Oh, she's on the computer. She must be doing schoolwork.
Right.
Oh God. But no, but that's
Law and Order made movies about you.
But I mean, I just have used every platform as if it was a social media platform, even from then.
Even that perspective,
like
yeah.
all of it, but kind of like without safeguards. And now I think we're just more aware. There's more conversation about how to safeguard your stuff and how to do it safely than there used to be, But I'm glad I just jumped in and didn't pay attention to that early on because I think I met more interesting people.
I think so too. I agree with that. Yep.
But yeah. And now that person is an English professor teaching at Texas State University, of all places. So I guess we turned out okay.
You turned out
okay. I mean, something worked in the end, but like just how much time has gone by, and now I'm doing this, and the idea is to like gather up some of these experiences and showcase some of the people and the adventures that we've had and like tell the stories, right?
Yeah, I
tell
love
the
it.
stories, like of like early Twitter, like you were saying with the DJ, and it was like happy hour. I remember waking up and I had a friend that was in Europe, and so they would be waking up when I was going to sleep and vice versa, and we would just say good morning. It was like, good morning, here's coffee. And we formed this really tight bond with this total stranger on the other side of the world, and we did, and she and I eventually did meet in person.
Did you?
When she came through, and turned out like sometimes you don't know if the friendship that you have that's like online will translate to the real world, and that one did successsually. But how strange to like have years of like just good morning and good night like every day, and then and you because you're literally geographically separated, you know, you're never going to be part of each other's
Right.
daily lives in the
Right.
same way. Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna like,
Right.
you know,
But
I mean,
how
I'll
cool is
invite
it?
you to my kid's
Of
birthday party,
course,
but you
of course.
can't come,
You
you
can't
know?
come, right? But how cool is it to have to live in a world where you have that? Like yesterday, I had a call with one of our clients, their India office, and I'm sitting on this call, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having a conversation with people who literally live on the other side of the
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
and like life is the same. You know, we have that we're discussing the same business challenges, the same ways to manage things, the same customer journey. It was just, my mind was a little bit blown. I was like, this is, what a world. I mean, that's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that effect. So the project that Tom and John are doing is called Drop Dead Generous, and they're giving away, oh God, I always get the numbers wrong, but it's like $500,000 to 1,000 people over 2 years. And one of their people that applied for one of these grants, he's in Uganda, and we told the story on the interview, but he got a grant to build a new dance floor for his community. And then when they poured the concrete, like apparently wild dogs came and like laid on it and messed it up at night, you know, so then they had to report it, but he ended up letting them sleep there because it was like a warm, safe place for the dogs to sleep or something. But so, you know, we get on this call and I'm going about my, like, you know, I have a job in California and I have kids and I have this life. And I'm listening to this guy talk about like how the dogs came in and like ruined his concrete. And I just had this surreal moment of like, oh, there's other parts of the world and there's people living in them and their lives are, they struggle with problems too, and their lives are so different from mine. But you have that moment of like, no, we're all human and we all are together, you know, and that's what in our good moments, that's what this technology can do, right? And what we want it to be able to do. So.
Yeah. It's very cool. It's very cool.
That's the goal. my teenager is like wandering through, getting ready for school in the background here. I wonder what they think of all of this. Like, and you know, your children too, or a child's, right? Just although I guess your dogs kind of count as extra children.
No,
but but I wonder what they think of all this, you know, because they just see us as like talking at screen in the background, and like I don't think they really can follow like what we're doing.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
Well, it's also just one-sided, so.
Yeah, I didn't know what my dad did when I was growing up.
Yeah, fair.
No.
I work on the computer. That's what they say.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so I don't know, like I don't even know what questions to ask you. It's different. I did have like, well, here we'll ask the off the wall one.
Oh no.
So what would you do if you found a penguin in your freezer? How would you react?
Well, first of all, I would hope it was still alive, because that would be amazing. Also, my kid, when she was little, was obsessed with penguins, so we would obviously have to put it in the bathtub and keep it as a pet. But I'm a little concerned that it's in the freezer. Yeah, I actually just saw on my time hop, the year she went to first grade, you know, I did the sign and it said her teacher and blah, blah, blah. When I grow up, I want to be, and it was a penguin. Then her second grade sign was, I want to be a penguin. Her third grade sign, I think she realized she couldn't actually be a penguin. So her third grade sign was, I want to be a penguin scientist. Her fourth grade sign was a penguin scientist. And now she's evolved from penguin to penguin scientist to vet. So vet has stuck for almost, 2 years now. So we'll see.
Oh, that is the best answer to the most off the wall question I could possibly imagine. Just because I'm like, so many kids want to be a penguin.
She wants to be a penguin. And I would say to her, you know, you can't be a penguin. And she'd go, but you tell me I can be anything if I put my mind to it. And I'm like, shit. Well, nice throwing that back in my face, but you can't. Okay, be a penguin. That's fine.
Right? That is magical. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think what my other off the wall questions were. Some of them were, well, the Disney princess one is more fun for my male guests, but it was like, which Disney princess would you be and why? You know, so you can feel free to have a stab at that one. Yeah, that's a hard one, right?
Yeah. I would say Brave or Moana.
Oh yeah, that fits. That fits.
Yeah.
I love how much thought you put into answering that one too. It's hard, right?
You could ask the K-pop Demon Hunter question because,
Right.
oh my gosh.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet though.
Oh,
so
okay. Well, first you should actually watch it. It's actually
it's working
really
on
good.
My office mate has not shut up about it for like 2 weeks straight. Like that is all that, like every 5 minutes, K-pop Demon Hunter. Yeah, and so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch. And I just
you should. Yeah. It's actually really, really good, and the music is fantastic, but it is nonstop. I bet I've heard that soundtrack. I'm not embellishing 150 times.
Okay. Well, it's on the list. It's on the list. It reminds me of Encanto in that, like,
oh yeah. Oh,
Encanto
was great too.
Yeah, with the music, and the way that people would just play the soundtrack over and over again.
Yeah.
Hamilton was the same way. Interestingly, my family, like my parents' generation, they were not into the whole Hamilton thing. I guess because not with the the hip hop influence and the spoken word and all of it. Like they didn't get it at all. And like I could not stop hitting on that soundtrack.
Right.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And I would, just because I was surprised because my dad is like, super history buff and really loves history. So I was surprised that one didn't take.
Huh.
So, yeah. Anyway, what other questions did I have? Let's see. Superpower. If you were a superhero, would you choose flying or invisibility?
Flying. I've always wanted to fly.
Yeah, see?
Always. Yeah.
Although then as soon as I say it, this has happened to a lot of people, I ask that question, then you want the other one, because then I'm like, but I could do some cool things if I was invisible. I could,
I don't care about being invisible.
Places, but flying, right? Yeah. I mean, the right answer would be both, but
it's like if you have 3 wishes and then you ask for one of your wishes is 3 more wishes. That's not how it works. You can't do that.
No, but that's that was my whole game when I was a kid. I was like going around rubbing all the lamps, hoping that like the genie would come out, and I was like ready to go to ask for like a million wishes. It's like, come on, let's just game this. But yeah, so I wrote an essay about genies because it turns out that, and it's funny that your name is not Jeannie, it's Ginny. But I didn't realize like they had this long history, because the jinn and like the actual mythology of it is actually quite long and deep and rich and that sort of thing. But as part of that, like it had to do with wishes. There was a folk tale that I think it's the wishing fish, something like that. Like wishing stories are always terrible folk tales, by the way, because like you wish for something and then you get it and then it turns out to be terrible, or it's always bad. But as part of that and learning about the jinn and like this whole mythology, I ran across this story about the wishing fish, and then it turns out that there's a clockmaker that made an enormous clock with a fish, and it's like for children, and now it's like top of my must go visit list. I'm like, it's probably like giant ball of string level of like but I don't care.
Where
it's in the UK somewhere, and like I tagged it in my thing so I'd remember, but I'm like, next vacation, next time I have it, I'm going to see this giant wishing fish clock, and apparently it plays music, and like it's the biggest mechanical clock or something like that, like it's claim to fame. So anyway, this is what happens when you start like researching folk tales, is you find strange things.
Look it up. Wishing fish clock.
Oh man.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm out of questions. You can ask me.
We're almost out of time. We're almost out of time anyway, so that's fine. What's the craziest dream what's the craziest dream you've had recently?
Oh, don't know that I can remember one. Well, what type of dream are you talking about? Are you talking about the kind you have at night?
Yeah.
Right, while you're sleeping? Because there's, like the other kind
Yeah.
that are like, I dream of changing the world, and
No, I don't care about
right. Okay. Yeah, neither do I. No, that's not true. That's so not true. And
that.
what is your star sign, by the way?
Aquarius.
Oh, well, all right. That's a different one. Dream. So it was something about okay, so I have this weird obsession with bees right now. Like, it's a long story. I'm an odd person. I think you know this by now. And I got into photography, was taking pictures of flowers. A bee landed on the flower. The bee was actually hard to take a picture of because it moves, And then I just got like really fascinated with trying to get a good picture. And then now I have like 900 pictures of bees in my camera roll, and it's a problem running out of storage. And I have problems. Anyway, so the bees made their way into my dream, and there were bees, and they were like in the closet, and there was something about like there was a party. But so typical dream for me is I'm lost and I can't find something. It's like ADD dreams all the time. So I was trying to like find the party, but I couldn't find it. And then that's when usually I realize I'm dreaming, when I realize I'm barefoot, and I go, oh, I'm dreaming, because I don't walk around barefoot at like out in public much in real daily life. And then that's usually when I wake up. So I don't know. So it's the bees in the closet. I don't know why they're in the closet. I don't know what party
dreams are fascinating. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Also, it's super interesting that you would realize you're dreaming because you're barefoot.
Yeah, it's one of my ways. Either that or I can't see is another way. Like the worst ones are where I'm like driving and I can't see. Like I'm driving a car and then I'm like, oh God, I can't see. And then I'm like, oh, I think I'm about to wake up because clearly this isn't real. But yeah, it's like I guess I must be dreaming like as I'm approaching a waking state would be my assumption, is because a lot of them end with me realizing I'm dreaming. So
fascinating. Maybe that's what I'll do in my next life, is learn how to decipher dreams.
I could see you being really good at that.
Yeah.
It seems to fit somehow.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
I don't know. You have the same sort of eclectic background.
That's a nice word for it. Thank you.
Meant nicely, but I'm thinking about like being good at communication, being good at business, being good at math, being good at writing, and then being able to like sort of integrate them together.
Cleaning my kitchen every night.
Yeah, that one is weird, Jenny. I keep wanting to call you Jeannie. That one is weird. I'm still not sure how I feel about that. But I will tell you, I think of you when I clean my kitchen at night.
It's so
got into my brain. Yeah. I'm like, I wonder if Jenny's cleaning her kitchen.
I should go back and look. I mean, that post, it created some animosity. And I literally was like, okay. I don't care if you don't clean your kitchen. It doesn't bother me. I just have to clean mine.
Right. I don't know. Like it just takes me back to that time though, because like I do want to tell you how much it meant to me, those daily updates. And I was really sad when you chose to, and I get that you can't maintain that pace of like sharing your daily life forever.
It's also not that interesting anymore. Back then it was interesting
because it was chaos.
Yeah, it was chaos. Yeah.
But it was just it was a joyful thing in a darkish time, and nice. It meant a lot to me personally. So I'm glad I get to tell you that finally. Also, I do need to actually mail you this. So
yes, I would love that.
Yeah, I'll have to
or you can keep it on your wall and just work with you. Yeah, I can we're co-working. You can do that.
Yeah, and I'll just do Zoom calls like this, and people will be like, "Wow, she's fabulous." Wow, but your face doesn't move much. No, I have enough artwork like hanging around. The weirdest is like when I paint pictures of people and then they don't ever send me their contact, and I'm like, I guess they don't want it, but then like I can't throw it away because I feel bad. Right. So someday I'm just gonna have a fire sale of like,
no, you really should put them up and pretend they're your colleagues, and just take a morning to the margarita.
That's brilliant. I think I'll do that. They're going to be part of my imaginary company.
Right.
Work
exactly.
For me. See? What a good job. You're doing such a great job of your chief marketing role already. You've like given me several good ideas thus far.
That's
Well,
funny.
thank you so much for your
Oh my
time.
gosh, this is great.
I know you do have a real job that pays you, and this doesn't. And I appreciate you taking an hour to listen to my
This
zany
was
questions.
super fun. Super fun.
And I'm so sad that you didn't get to be the very first, but I'm glad
I
that you get to be part of it. So
I am glad to. Thank you for inviting me.
also thank you for saying yes, because like a surprising number of people have been like, why would I do that? And you were just like, I'm in, before even knowing any of what I was doing. So I really appreciated that early support. You know, you'll get special prizes of my love and admiration, which you already had. So you're good.
Maybe I'll just continue it then. That's
Yeah. You
great.
get to continue having
Perfect.
the endless mutual admiration society energy. Yes.
Perfect.
All right. Well, have a great day.
You too.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
I figure out how to hang up. Bye bye, lovely people that supposedly are watching. Bye, Mom. Bye, Becky. Bye, Elaine. Bye, Lisa. I found out Lisa's watching. So now I have 4 that I know. All right.
Fantastic. And now you have my mom too.
Oh, yay. Bye. Bye, extra mom.